Okay, folks, this one's all about the wiring harness that we're putting in here. Now, this is the wiring harness that I went with. I got it from brotherstrucks.com. Your truck has to be 40 years old for them to care about it, and I'm okay with that. This lovely wiring system is being put in by a certified mechanic. I am not doing this myself. So all of that nightmare and headache is for them. But it's really important for me to go into why I am doing this part. So with this truck, there was some obvious heat damage to the wiring in the drive compartment, and finding a mechanic to do the things on this vehicle that I can't do was really difficult because the RV electrical system was integrated with the engine compartment. And to avoid any rigmarole on that, I decided to go ahead and completely replace the wiring harness, separating the RV from the drive compartment. So now when the new wiring harness is all complete, the drive cab will be run independently from the coach, which was really important to me, both so I could get a mechanic to work on it, and secondly, because I intend to go solar and wind with the coach. So keep in mind that you don't have to separate your systems, but finding a carburetor mechanic to begin with is difficult in this day and age. So it made it a lot easier to find a mechanic that was willing to work on the engine compartment when they knew that the two systems were not interconnected. Hey folks, it's Willow. So here is the G30. We've got most of the outside metal back up. Yes, it's franken bolted together, but we'll address that later. Wood subframing is going in all the way around. So, yes, that desk is actually going to be mounted in here. So we are actually, progressing rather well. Still a lot of pieces to make. COVID's got me behind by about 2 weeks, but we definitely have walls now. Hey folks, so here's another one of those side notes, because I feel like I'm doing you a disservice if I don't mention tires. When I set my criteria for the RV, I knew that split rim tires were a thing, and that they were no longer legal in most states. And so I did make sure that I checked the rear wheels so that they were two independent tires, not a split wheel, because I didn't want to have to wind up changing out the axle so that I could have the appropriate tires for the states that I was going to. It is really important to note that you need to check that because a lot of those vintage RVs and trailers have split rim tires, and those are not legal in most 50 states. I'm not sure on the actual technical, amount of states they are and aren't legal in, but I know that they aren't easy either. So do check your back tires if you have a dually set and make sure that they are independent and not split rim. You do not want to get into that headache because the only way I know to fix that is to completely change out the axle, and then that is not an easy thing, in my opinion, to do without lifts and the appropriate, mechanical help and what have you. And it's not that it can't be done, it's just not easy. And if you want to keep it as easy as possible, keep those tires, those split rim tires in mind. They come in a lot of things that are older than 1980, and they're just not legal to go down the road or safe. So make sure you don't mess yourself up by getting a split rim axle and not being able to get those things done.